Hey everyone, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm Dawn Pensack. I'm a certified hypnotist and workplace wellness enthusiast. And I'm so excited to be here today with my good friend Ellen Weiss from Everyday Wellbeing Success. She is a master workplace wellness consultant, and we're really excited today to talk about resilience and the importance of sleep in optimizing our performance, improving our focus, and really elevating our life. So Ellen, thank you so much for joining me today in our conversation. I always love connecting with you and talking about all things workplace wellness. Can you share with us a little bit about why sleep is so important for us to focus on and really prioritize in this journey of, better health?
Mhm. So I always like to say that sleep is like your superpower. If you get a good night's sleep, you are more likely to make better decisions about your eating choices. You're going to have more energy to work out, and you will be at a better place to handle stress. And of course, the opposite is true. If you don't get a good night's sleep, especially night after night or week after week, like we all sometimes go through, you will not be able to function in that way. So you will not be able to handle your daily stress. You will not be making good choices about food and exercise, and really all factors of our health and wellness. So sleep is really one of the most important factors that we should all be looking at to really continue our path for good health and wellness.
I love that. I had always kind of thought that I sleep pretty well. I'm not an insomniac. I've never been I feel like I've always gotten enough 7, 8 hours. But probably about a year ago, I was talking with a doctor and they asked me a couple questions, and suddenly I had this epiphany that my sleep was really not that good. I was ticking the box of 7 to 8 hours, but I was not waking up feeling
Ah,
rested.
okay.
And so I have been on this journey for the last couple years, for the last year in particular, of finding all of these different ways to optimize my sleep, mouth strips. I have this sleep pod. It's kind of like a really tight sleeping bag almost and it's actually amazing. Weighted
Okay.
blankets, essential oils, all these different things to support me in sleep, different meditations that I do right before sleep, hypnosis, journaling. So I love that we're talking about this today because it's such an important part of, just the holistic wellness that we're all striving for.
Yeah. So that's really interesting. I mean, I think there are so many products out there to help with sleep. So I'm kind of curious. So after doing this whole investigation, what has really worked for you?
So, okay. I think the biggest change in my just waking up feeling amazing has been the mouth strips.
Okay.
So I snored for a long time. Not consistently, wasn't, sleep apnea. It wasn't a dangerous thing, but I snored. So um when I started learning about the danger of mouth breathing and how snoring can be so detrimental to, our health, not to mention energy and all of the different things. I was like, let me just experiment with different, so at first it was super, super weird. And my kids hate it because they think that I'm suffocating myself. So I just kind of sneak one on, right before bed. But I got used to it really quickly, and almost immediately I started noticing that I was waking up without my alarm clock. So I was
Mhm.
waking up ready to go before my alarm clock even. And I like to wake up early. I like to wake up by 4:30 and have my time in the morning and so I was waking up before my alarm clock. I was jumping out of bed. I was getting less sleep in terms of, the hours that I spent in bed, but I feel like that was so much higher quality. And if, snoring is gone. So, all of the things and the other thing that was really weird, and I know this wasn't super on topic of what we wanted to chat about today, but we'll let the conversation flow. Before I was using the mouth strips, I was waking up several times to go to the bathroom.
Hmm.
And then I read, I think it's the book right over there. It's called Breath. And I think the author is James Nestor. He talks about when we're breathing with our mouth, when we're sleeping, we're actually losing a lot more moisture,
Hmm.
I guess, and that can contribute to waking up to go to the bathroom. So, on my journey of better health, the last year in particular, but, I've been drinking a lot more water. I've been really consciously, always have my water next to me. And I drink a lot of water before I go to bed, and I never wake up to use the bathroom anymore. So that was like another really interesting thing because, and I know that would contribute, right, to waking up kind of groggy. It's like, if you're waking up consistently, 2-3 times a night to go to the bathroom, right, your sleep is broken. So yeah, it's been interesting to go on that journey of, the mouth strips. Like, who would think taping your mouth shut at night is gonna, help with
Yeah.
that? But
That's very interesting. And I also think it's really important to remember that we're all individuals, and what works for one person may not work for someone else. But I love that one suggestion. Other ideas that I recommend to clients about sleep is trying to eat a few hours before your bedtime, so you're well digested. Journaling, you mentioned journaling is a great idea. Especially I like clients to use what I call a brain dump. So anything that's worrying you, or maybe things that you need to do the next day, just write those out, get those out of your mind, so that when you're falling asleep, you can kind of clear your mind of that constant thinking about sort of things to do. And, meditation, certain people really love them. Even just like deep breathing is a great way just to naturally calm down and, kind of get you prepared for bed.
Excuse me. I love what you mentioned about the brain dump. One of the things that I am so excited to share with our listeners today is this idea of resilience and like this inner battery, right? And when our inner battery is full, we feel energized and excited and motivated by life, right? Life feels light and inspiring and exciting for us. And then when our inner battery is depleted, right, we feel like there's a heaviness. And a lot of times we carry this heaviness with us through sleep, right? And that can certainly affect, like you wake up and your mind is racing with your to-do list and all of these things going on through your head. So I love that idea of the brain dump. And I want to add to that, because I think one of the things that's been really helpful for me is brain dumping in your personal life and your professional life. What are some things that you're doing or maybe not doing, or what are some ways that you're being or maybe not being, right? That could be depleting your inner battery or energizing your inner battery. So, so really giving like your day's tasks and your day's activities and your weeks and your months or even your years, looking at your life from kind of, zooming out a little bit and being really honest about how you're spending your time, how you're spending your day, like what are you doing in your life, how you're spending your life really, right? And then looking at areas that you can, where you can improve. We can always improve in different areas. And sometimes too, it's not a matter of doing things differently. It might be doing more of certain things and less of the others, like deleting some things that you're doing, delegate some things that you're doing, or, automate, right? Or something so that you're creating a life where it's more energizing, more replenishing, more nourishing for you, where your battery's more full most of the time than not, and being really aware of that. And the other thing is, I have a little journal that I've created. You can see a little messy snapshot of my day, but every morning I actually will record how my inner battery is. So is it more on the full side? Am I feeling more energized and restored? Or am I waking up feeling depleted? And it's been interesting because there are some days where I'll go to bed, I do this morning and night, my battery will be full. Like I've had an amazing day and I'm just feeling, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And then I'll wake up and I'll feel depleted. And it's always interesting to look at, well, what was I dreaming about? Like, how did I set myself up for a good night's sleep? Because our sleep, there's so many things that happen in our sleep that can support us or that can drain us, so it's even like, I always try to set myself up for success every night by doing a brain dump, like you mentioned, journaling, connecting to my purpose, my vision, writing down what I'm grateful for, having this practice. Because I think 𝘲𝘠𝘪𝘠𝘀 said, sleep, like look at your sleep as your most sacred time, So do you have any like sleep practices that you really love, that you think have really supported you?
Well, definitely the idea of doing a brain dump and doing just like a really simple meditation before bed. One breath method that I use is box breathing. And one reason why I love it so much is because it's simple. All you need to do is like breathe in for a count of 4, hold that for a count of 4, breathe out for a count of 4, and then rest.
Yeah.
So, and it just naturally calms me down. It calms my mind. It calms my body. I can feel my heart rate slowing down. So that has been like one of the simplest and most effective ways to get a better night's sleep and to fall asleep easier. So for me, falling asleep was an issue. And just doing some easy breathing, deep belly breathing helped me so much.
Oh, thank you for highlighting the importance of that, because I know so many people really resonate with some deep breathing and some meditation, and the box breathing. That's such a powerful tool. I'm so glad that you brought that up. Well, Ellen, this conversation was so wonderful. I always love chatting with you. Yeah. And so next week we'll be back with another topic to help support your wellness and to help you bring wellness, normalize wellness in the workplace. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everybody.